Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I have a card share. I have a lot of cards here. These are the cards I made during the Hero Arts Spring Stamp Along. I did a haul video showing you guys the bundle kit that you could have got. I guess you can still get it. The class already happened live, but you can go back and watch. I'll link it below if I can. Yeah, I just wanted to show you what we made. It was pretty intense. A lot of techniques I've never done before. Styles I wouldn't normally do myself, but like I said in previous videos, that's why I take classes, because I like to learn new things. So, this first card was made by Lydia Fiedler. Well, it was designed. I did do a few things differently. I have my class handout here, which is like the homework, but it has little pictures, so I wanted to show you like things I did differently, because I don't have Hero Arts ink. I only have Concord and Ninth and a few Simon Says stamp inks, so I just used what I had on hand. But I also don't normally do like bold colors like this, so this card came out very, I'll just move these ones over. It came out very light because I used, I think it's lavender or lilac from Concord and Ninth in the background, and this was a really fun technique. We had a stencil and we actually put the ink on the stencil and sprayed it with water and then put it on the card panel, and then we used the stencil on the other side to fill in the negative parts, and it came out really fun. And then I just colored these little frogs with my Yoo-hoo markers. I don't know if that's how you say it. They're like the Copic knockoffs from Amazon, if I'm being honest, but they're actually really good and obviously way more affordable. So I only used 2 colors. I just followed what Lydia was teaching us, and some little highlights were done with my Jelly Roll pen. And yeah, everything else we got in the kit. These little dots, those are actually like liquid drops that are from Hero Arts that we got in the kit in teal. And you just, you know, dot them on your paper and then let them dry, and you create your own embellishments. So this one was a top folding card. I think it's really cute. Then we did Nicole Spore's class, and this was pretty intense. The homework for this, I think it took me the most time, because every little piece that you see in the background is a separate die that we cut out. Obviously I don't have the same colors that she used because she was using, you know, Hero Arts cardstock, but this card was actually inspired because can you see this? It says friend here. This is actually paper strips that I glued on like a copy paper for another class that had nothing to do with this one, and I never used it. It's just a panel that I made, and when I saw this card I was like, oh, I already have a panel of strips, and I don't honestly want to do that again because it takes a lot of time. So I was like, well, since I still have the paper that I use here, that's what I'll use in the background. So the lighter green is from Recollections. It's in that, you know, from Michael's, that pack that has all the colors in it. And then this other paper is from Cricut. I think it's from the pastel bundle, but anyway, it doesn't exist anymore, so it doesn't matter. Then we heat embossed with white on black cardstock for the sub sentiments, There's No One Like You, and happy birthday. And then I colored these little guys with those same markers. I followed what Nicole was teaching us, and it turned out really cute. So I really like this card. It was a lot of work, but I think it turned out really fun. And those are the teal, I forget what they're called. Let me get them. These Hero Pearls in teal. That's what we used. The next card was designed by Charlene Madrid. Sorry. This is actually the first card that I made because I was somewhere. I didn't actually watch some of the classes live because I don't know. I was out of the house. So I made this one first. This one, I don't know if you can see that there's dimension there. So we actually stamped on 2 panels, but then we only ink blended one with the coordinating stencil. Everything is in the kit again. And then we cut it in strips and glued it back on to the colorless panel. And I never thought of doing that before, but it comes out really fun. And I don't know if you can see that shine. That's because we used the hero paste, the white pearl, in some areas to create that effect. Oh, and this card, I'll show you what it was supposed to look like. So you're supposed to put the smile sentiment like along the cut that you did, but I actually glued my strips down on the wrong the wrong side, so then it looked weird. And I don't know if I love where I thought it looked kind of cool that it like blends into the bottom, but now I'm thinking I should have put it up here. I don't know. I still think it's fun, and yeah, I like how it came out. Then we had Shannon Peltier. I'm trying to say Peltier in English because she's from like Arizona, so, but that's like a name that people have in Quebec often. This is what she called the Rainbow Swiped Composition Pad. This one I did pretty differently because I don't have the hero inks, and because she actually didn't use ink pads, she used re-inkers to create the background. So since I didn't have those, this is a piece of acetate, by the way, that we put the transfers on. I used, what are they called? Distress sprays, you know? I'm sure if you make cards, you know what those are. And I just happened to have a pack that I got in like a Simon Says Stamp card kit that had a green, blue, and a pink. And I just mixed them all together, and we did this on, well, she said to do it on Bristol paper because Bristol paper is like very smooth, and that's how it worked for the technique that she did. But I had Distress watercolor paper. That's what I did. And yeah, that's how it came out. And we cut through the panel and put the sentiment on the inside, wishing you a happy birthday. But obviously when you close it, it looks like a little composition book, and I thought that was really fun. And we even put this like black strip here to make it look like a real book. And this was the first time I ever used transfers in my life, and they are so easy. I don't know why I was so intimidated by them. They're like, you just put them down, rub them like gently, and they just come off. So yeah, that's how that card turned out. The next card we did, I want to make sure I refer to the designer, so I'm looking at my paper. This one was Christina Werner's card, and this showed us a way to use that composition stamp without doing any like composition notebook type thing. We just used it as our background. So we stamped it in black, and then we actually blended over it with black ink to make it look more, you know, darker. Or shaded. I don't know if that's a better word. So this one just says, "Friend, thank you for being you." This is heat embossed with white. And these flowers, we actually made those. So in the kit we got, if you didn't see my video, I don't remember the name of them now. I'll just get them. So these rounded jewel infinity dies is what they're called. So we used these to actually make the flowers, if you can see, and the leaves. And she showed us how to create a template so that you could ink blend like the individual dies, because we actually die cut them out first and then blend it on top. And that was a really fun technique. And I discovered a fun like rainbow that I actually like, because if you guys didn't know, I don't like primary colors. So primary, like, you know, traditional rainbow, I know it's bad to say I don't like it, because everybody in card making seems to love rainbows. But I like rainbows, just in like a more pastel version. So I discovered that when I found these inks from my Concord 9th stash. I think they turned out really fun. And we also used those, those hero pearls again, just around there. This one, this giant one, was a mistake, but I think it turned out okay. If you look at it from far, it looks like I intended it. And this one I made a side folding card. I don't know. Yeah, she had made a top folding. Oh, it's actually because I did make this a top folding card, but when I did the ink blending, my, like, how am I gonna explain this? The bottom of the card went past the front a little, and then I had like a gray line. I don't know if that makes any sense or if anybody cares. So I just cut the panel off and stuck it on a side folding card instead. Yeah. Oh, and you can't even really tell, because for some reason this didn't work for me. We drew the stems with white gel pen, but I think I maybe had to wait for my panel to dry longer, because the pen was like not coming off as like vibrant as it normally does, and it was hard to write on this paper for some reason. Maybe it's the paper too, but yeah, so you can't really see unless I pointed out that we hand drew these stems, and that was scary. But it turned out okay. Anyway, that's my Christina Warner card. The next class was by Mindy Egan, and this one is more like my style, you know, kind of more muted pastels. This one we used the same the same stencil that we did for this card. If you can see, we didn't use the stamp though, we only used the stencil, and then we also used that this paste again in some of the areas, and then we cut it with the infinity dies and just made our own like panel, and that was really cool. See, this is why I need to take classes. I would never have thought of any of this on my own. And then just this smile again, we ink blended like an ombre effect with the same colors we used for the background. Well, that I used, because again, I didn't have the hero inks. I used Concord 9th. And I really like how this one came out. And this paper in the bag, I have no idea where it came from. I found it in my stash, and it happened to match perfectly with the color that Mindy used, if you can see, which I think this was Hero Arts Mist, I believe it was. And this is a side folding card because that's how Mindy likes to do them. And I have to say I do prefer side folding cards. That's another unpopular opinion I feel in the card making world. I just feel like they stand up nicer, and whenever I've given somebody a top folding card in real life, they're like, what? They don't understand like it goes up, because people don't get cards like that in reality. Those are like YouTube cards, I feel. Anyway, I still do them, but I do prefer side folding. Then we had Ralph's class, Ralph Tyndall. And if you guys didn't know, if you didn't watch my video, he is the one who designed the composition notebook stamp and die and other things set. And he made this card, and I think this might be my favorite one. It's just so crazy. I never would have thought to do this. So we actually made our own mini composition notebooks. Well, of course we stamped like a big panel and then cut it down into these mini sizes. We cut the little strips for the notebook, and these labels are actually, again, from the infinity die, from the second to last size. We just cut the ends off to make it look like the label that you see on composition notebooks. Like, how cool is that? And I love the dimension of this. It almost has like a 3D effect. Oh, and also we heat embossed with clear to, you know, to get that real composition notebook feel. The background, we use the same stamp but in gray, and then we put the hero transfers on top, and then use foam tape to put everything else. This again is from the composition notebook set, and we just said this card belongs to my favorite person, and I love it. Yeah, this one was really fun. Another side folding card. The last one was the mixed media birthday card from Rachel Kleinman, and this one I had some troubles with. I'm just not great at mixed media. Honestly, I've maybe done it. This is maybe like the first time I've ever really done like mixed media. So we use a stencil again with the hero paste, but we actually tinted the paste this time with the ink that we use for the background. And because we were like tinting and stenciling, like the stencil dried before I removed it, and then I ended up like ripping off chunks of the paper. There's maybe one you can see. Behind this is where it was really bad, which is why I put my sentiment up so high. But it's fine because it still looks like I meant to do it, I guess. And this piece, we actually this was a piece of white cardstock, if you can believe. We just sprayed it with this, the two-tone metallic spray in royal purple and gold from Hero Arts. We sprayed that, and I don't know if you can see the gold effect when it's shifted. So that was really fun. Yeah, and then we heat embossed happy birthday to a special someone. Yeah. So this card, like, if I was actually making this for somebody, I would have redone because it didn't turn out that great. But I think, you know, it's a good effort on my part since I hadn't done anything like that before. And we did this on distress, well, I did this on distress watercolor paper because we did a lot of spraying and stenciling. And oh, and the splatter. The splatter we did with the spray again, but this time we just took the nozzle and, like, you know, tapped it over the paper. So it looks purple, like, when you look at it. But then when you shift it in the light, I don't know if you'll be able to catch that. There's some gold. Yeah, there you can see the gold. So yeah, those are my cards. My battery's gonna die like usual, so I have to cut this short. And then we got a video from Jennifer McGuire, who of course showed us like all crazy things to do with the stuff we got in the kit. So it was really fun. This was my second stamp along. The first one I did was the like Christmas one, and I didn't have the bundle. I just tried to use what I had on hand, but it was a lot more fun, I have to say, to have the actual product that the instructors were teaching with. But yeah, anyway, I hope you liked this video. I should bring back all the cards, right, before my battery dies. So if you did, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!